y'all, it's me, Fletch, back at it again with yet another story time. As you guys should already know because I am the baddest what? Trans bitch on YouTube, and that's of the period. So I know y'all see me wearing the same shirt. Trust me, the shirt's clean. I made that video with that black middle part bust down wig on about 2.5, finna be 3 weeks ago. This shirt has been clean since then, I promise you. Thank you guys so much for 397 subscribers. We're almost to 500. I know it's a little ways beyond, but we're closer to 500 than we are 1K. So, I mean, hey, take what you can and be appreciative of what you got. So I want to say thank you guys so much for all the love and the support. I am loving the engagement. I'm loving that y'all are sharing my content. I'm loving that y'all are enjoying my story times. I'm loving the interactions. I'm just enjoying you in general, because I don't know how I'd be able to get through this rough patch in my life right now if it wasn't for y'all. So thank you guys so much. I don't know what I'm going to title this video, but I'm going to just go ahead and get right into it because I don't know what I want to say, what the title's going to be. So this story time takes place back in 2017. I was 16 years old and I was in the 10th grade. This is actually way after me and old boy stopped talking. You remember the boy I talked about in my last story time? I got jumped and I watched him get jumped or whatever with viable cause, and I told y'all why. This is way after that. You know, he was threatening me and talking about how old his boyfriend's gonna get out the hospital and beat my ass. Did he ever get out the hospital and beat my ass? No. So either he didn't make it up off the bed or something else transpired. I was scrolling on Facebook, and you know, this is where I would meet a couple of the other guys, but y'all know it was nothing but like really old, like when you're a gay boy, again, I'm speaking in past tense, when you're a gay boy, when you are young, you have a lot of older gay men that like to lust after younger gay boys. And I mean, like, I'm 16, you're like 45. You could raise me as another son. You could write me off on your taxes. Y'all remember how Facebook used to have, like, you could have a section that's for friend requests and a section for who's liking your posts, who's liking your pictures and things like that, right? So I don't know what was going on, but Facebook was having this thing where you were just getting like rushes of friend requests out of nowhere. And I will say I was being a little bit up, you know, a whore. And I used to post my little cute little underwear pictures and stuff like that, girl, poking my little mumps out, girl. Like, I just thought I was so cute with the beat up ass Hanes drawers. Girl, I remember I had took this t-shirt that I had that said caution on it, and I cut it into a crop top. Wait, but why is the body given, though? Growing up gay was terrible. Like, especially, like, in the time that I grew up, girl, you had to be gay when it was okay to be gay. You couldn't just be out there and be gay. I want to say, I was searching my friend request list. This is nothing but sugar daddies, old men, people that I'm not interested in. I ended up stumbling across this boy, and we're going to call this boy Jalen for the sake of this story. That is not his real name, so I really hope nobody thinks that I'm talking about somebody that lives in Memphis. The story takes place in Mississippi. Jalen was a dark-skinned, like, slim guy. He had, like, almond-shaped eyes. He had, like, a taper fade, which never seemed to grow. You know, he had, like, not big lips, but they were kind of, like, you know, medium-sized lips. You know, just not really, and not a typical Mississippi man, basically. He just gave yes, some, no, energy, and it just wasn't for me. Because y'all know I was coming from the city.
I'm a city girl, bitch.
Now, at this time, I do want to tell y'all, he was 18 years old. So he had already graduated high school. I want to say a year, no, not a year prior to me. Girl, what? A year, when did I? Okay, he graduated the same year my older sister graduated, I think. Because if he was 18 and I was 16 and it's 2017, she graduated in 2017 or 16? Mia, what year did you graduate? I think it was 2016, girl. I don't know. He asked me could he pull up to the house. Now, at this time, I was living with my mom. I still am, but I was living with my mom and my 3 sisters. My mom, she worked overnight doing security, so she was never at the house. My second oldest sister, she would invite her boyfriend over the house. My mom went there. And it kind of like gave me the green light to be like, you know what? She's doing that. She's fine. She ain't got caught. So you know what? I'm going to ask her, is it fine if I bring somebody up over here? She going to be mad about it. I want to say I was a thick-built person at that time. I won't say I was fat, but I was overweight for my height and my age. I ended up putting on these little sweatpants. I had on this little t-shirt and this black jacket with the white stripe on it. At that time, it was my very first time learning what a taper fade was. So I ended up getting a taper fade. And a taper fade is basically like when they fade out the side right here, fade out this side, fade out the back. You just have your little hair right here. So I thought this style was so like fire for some reason. I really enjoyed that style. When I get to the car, I spit on my little cologne, so I'm smelling real good. He's in like this little blue van, and then he opens up the driver's side door. So I see him. I'm like, hey, how are you? He's like, hey, how are you? He's like, oh, you look good. I'm like, thank you, I appreciate that. So he gets out, gives me a hug. Now as he's giving me a hug, I look over his shoulder and I see it's this grown ass woman sitting on the passenger seat. So I'm like, did this bitch bring his mother to a link up? Who the fuck does that? So it turns out it's his sister. Still strange, but whatever. So, she's like, hi. I'm like, hey, boo. She's like, how are you? I'm good. So then he's like, oh, I like your lips. I'm like, thank you. And he's like, I love your eyelashes. I'm like, thanks again. And then she's like, are those real? Girl, you know good and doggone well that these are real. Now, mind you, I wasn't that doggone gay. Like, I would wear my little crop tops and my little underwear all up in my booty and whatnot in the house, but I definitely was not giving lashes and makeup at that time. She's real cool. She's real sweet. So now he's like, dang, you fit. He's telling me to do a spin around and whatnot. So I do a little spin around, feeling very awkward. And then she's like, yeah, you are fit. I'm like, girl, I really hope you don't think this is going to be a 2-for-1 deal. Because, baby, it's not giving that. Who? Me? You want to get in that seat while your sister is in the car? Oh, no, it's fine. It's fine. We do it all the time. It's okay. It's fine. So this is something that y'all do on a regular basis. Nothing ever came from that. It was just he gave me a hickey or whatever. I went on. It is now 2019. Now, in 2019, no, it's 2018. I'm sorry. I kind of jumped the year. We stopped talking after 2017, like the middle of 2017, after that day that he came to see me. We kind of stopped talking, but before that we met up at the library, and then the cops came. We almost got arrested, but that's another story. So really it's not, because I mean, like, what's the tale, girl? Literally, that's what it was. Like, we was trying to be nasty, and the cops pulled up and said, we stopped talking because the situation occurred between me and him, or him and I don't know how you want to put that, and it definitely gave off that you just didn't give a shit about me as a person and about yourself, because why would you put me in that situation where I have to deal with that, and I'm only like 16 years old? That was ridiculous. If you can draw conclusions from that, figure it out. But everything's good now. It was, I want to say, November of 2018. Me being the person that I am, I kind of like to get closure. I don't like when things end off on bad terms. So, y'all, I was watching this anime, y'all, called Fushigi Yugi, and I love me a good old tragical romance anime. And, y'all, I was watching this episode. Y'all remember when Hotohori died? I mean, oh, well, I don't know if anybody's watching it, but spoiler alert, my bad. Hotohori had died, okay? I was in my feelings, and I ended up texting him on Snapchat, because I had him on Snapchat, and I was asking him, like, oh my gosh, like, what happened to us? I really cared about you. Did you ever love me? He was like, yes, I did love you. So then I started crying, girl. So then, like, I want to say a week and a half after that, I got surgery on my big toe, got that taken off, blah, 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 blah. Started my junior year. So my junior year started a little bit in Mississippi, but then it kind of, like, ended in Mississippi. And then we transferred from Mississippi schools to Memphis schools in August of 2018. So we actually stopped speaking near the middle end of 2017. And then we started back speaking in November of 2018. There we go. All right, now we getting somewhere. At this time, my dad was living with us. My sister, she had moved out. She had got her own place. So it was just me, my little sister, my oldest sister, my mom, and my dad. I was like, well, what are you doing? And I'm like, chilling. And he said, well, do you mind me coming over? But you do know I don't live in Mississippi anymore. He was like, oh, where do you live now? Told him my address, blah, 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 blah. He pulls on up, right? So he pulls on up, same old spiel, nothing important, kissing, touching, giving hickeys, blah, boring. Now, I want to say a week passed after that. A week passed after the day we linked up, and I remember it was November the 28th of 2018. I get a text from this man, and we're going to call him Felix, and he says, hey. So I'm like, see? Because, babe, I'm trying to figure out which way the wind is finna blow. Why do you insist on texting me? Who?
Like she didn't know who I was. The bitch knows who I am.
So you had amnesia. You had a boyfriend this whole entire time, and you failed to tell me this? Me and him been talking to each other since last year. So who are you? Don't worry about who I am. And okay, well then, if that's the case, don't worry about me. If you coming at me like there's a problem, and I ask you what's the problem, and you tell me there's no problem, I'm gonna go ahead on about my business because there's nothing for us to talk about. Then this man proceeds to say, motherfucker, we fucked before he came to see you, and he ate my and everything.
Miss Jackson.
When I tell y'all I was gagged, I'm not gonna lie, he ate me up a little bit. But there's always room for redemption. So now I'm like,
Wait a minute, hold on.
not you supposedly had a boyfriend on the side. You munching on Lucci cat for you come to my house and you want to kiss on me? You putting somebody else's dingleberries on my upper lip? And you see, I was going to leave this alone, but when you constantly bugging, I gotta get at you. I said, you didn't though. Like, girl, what made you think you ate that? Because I'm not stupid. I know how to play the game. You just thought you had one up on me, which you didn't. So that failed too. So then he's like, bitch, there's no games to be played. I said, bitch, don't be trying it. Because, like, now you calling me by my name. You get beside yourself. I just thought that I should confront you. And I said, bitch, confront me about what? I said, this ain't no confrontation. Like, girl, you thought this was cheaters? He's doing all this rah stuff in my text messages and whatnot. Girl, I'm just trying to get to the point. I just want to know, is it beef? Baby, I'm too old for that. Leave that to the cows. Okay, y'all. So why does this man keep subtly eating me the fuck alive? You too old for that, but you trying to confront somebody. Right. You must not be that old. That's how you clear a bitch. You're defending somebody who is probably messing off with other dudes. Nah, I've been letting you slide since the first time I see you and him talking. And that's cool. Like I said, if he is being texted and he entertaining him, then that's all him. Go back to school, because why you can't formulate a correct sentence? You ain't been letting me do If it was a problem, you should have addressed me beforehand. You mad at me like I knew. Beware, I didn't even know who you were up until today. All right, y'all, so here's some forgotten tea. Now, I want to tell y'all that this boy that I'm introducing now is Jason, right? And me and Jason have been best friends since 2014, y'all, and we're still besties to this day. Now, Jason got wind or word, if you don't understand what wind means, of the situation. So he ended up calling me and he was like, bestie, I gotta tell you something. I'm like, what you gotta tell me? Honey, Jason got on my phone and started spilling the fucking beans. So now we're getting to the part to where we're mentioning this other guy named Shane. That is why he came into the mix. We're going to call him Shane. We're just going to call him Shane. Shane is actually one of my long-distance friends that I'm no longer cool with. Basically, y'all, I don't want to say the story ends here, but I'm not a fan of false information. The fucking thought, bitch. Because I have actually found the messages, y'all. How I found them? Because I had made the same video on this page. I want to say when it happened. So I have the messages. Y'all have the messages! That he has something to do with this. I found some receipts, like I mentioned. I was able to look at one of my old YouTube videos, and I had receipts in the video. Thank God for keeping receipts. And this is what I found out. He was dating me, meaning Shane was saying that Jalen was dating him in May of 2017. You in September of 2017. This dude named Khalik, he's irrelevant, in February of 2018. And the other guy in June of 2018. Now, I'm trying to understand, but what do you have to do with it? So he sends me this very long paragraph, and I'm going to put it up on the screen, and we're going to read it together, okay? So, y'all, this is all, like, semi-alleged, but not really alleged. This is the information that I kind of got from Shane. So he was telling me how one day, old boy, Jalen, wanted to see him, and he had texted him from a number that he was not familiar with, i.e. Shane was not familiar with. So Shane ended up texting him on Messenger, asking him, like, what did he want? So it turns out that Jalen wanted to go over Shane's house. Now, at this point in time, Shane was living with his mother. So, of course, y'all know I'm in high school. So he's living with his mother, and Jalen went over Shane's house. Y'all try to keep up with me, okay? Jalen went over Shane's house. When Jalen went over Shane's house, Jalen put a hickey on Shane's neck. Now, mind you, Shane's mother was not fucking with that shit. She wasn't into the whole, like, gay lifestyle thing. She wasn't a real supportive mother, i.e. allegedly, from what I was told. What happened was, because Jalen ended up doing that to Shane, Shane's mom kicked him out the house. So when she kicked him out the house, Shane was texting Jalen to pick him up. At this time, Jalen was living by himself in an apartment. Okay, so when Jalen was living in an apartment, Shane asked him could he pick him up. Jalen ended up taking Shane to his apartment. Now, while Shane was in Jalen's apartment, unbeknownst to me, by the way, while Shane was in Jalen's apartment, him and Shane had something, you know. So while they were doing what they were doing, Shane ended up going to the bathroom to take a shower. Now, while he's in the shower, he's getting ready to get out the shower. The same boy I mentioned in the beginning that pressed me, we're going to call him Flex. While Flex knew that me and him was talking, Flex knew that him and Shane were talking. So somehow, I don't know how, but Flex ended up getting the keys to his apartment, which I believe he gave him, or they were living together. Shane walks out the bathroom. He's back there in the bedroom. So Jalen, he comes back there in the bedroom where Shane is, and he tells Shane, don't say anything to him. Talking about don't say anything to Flex. So Flex walks in, and Flex is taking Shane's stuff out of the house and putting it in Jalen's car. So Shane's like, don't touch my stuff. Basically, it got a little heated, but no hands were thrown. So Shane ends up going outside. He's sitting inside of his car. Well, his car, i.e. Jalen's car, waiting for Jalen to come out the house. Mind you, Jalen and Flex are both in the house while Shane is sitting outside in the car. Now, I don't know how he was okay with letting somebody touch his stuff and he didn't throw hands about it, but I definitely would have. Don't touch my stuff. Jalen ended up coming out, taking Shane home. That's a wrap, right? Now, here's more tea. When Flex found out that Jalen was talking to me, Flex put the paws on Jalen, girl, and he roughed him up, honey. I mean, he roughed him up, allegedly. Now, this is what Shane is telling me because Shane was around when it happened. Oh, so y'all, I read something else too. Okay, so it turns out that it was a time where Shane went back to Jalen's house, and when he went back to his house, his brother was trying to get down with Jalen. He told Jalen, and I quote, I'll go back gay for you. And then he was like, you go right ahead because he's going to play you like he played me. Jason, unbeknownst to me, he ended up telling me some information about how him and how him and, what did I call their name? Him and Shane were dating at a point, and then they broke up. And then him and Jalen were dating at a point, and then they broke up. So then Jalen went from my best friend, whom is Jason, to Shane, from Shane to Felix, from Felix to me, to back to Felix, to back to Shane, and then back to Felix, and then me. It's funny how nobody thought to tell me any of this stuff at all. I forgot something, but we're not going to go back to it. But I'm going to tell y'all now. So he ended up telling me one time before he came over my house, that same time before he came over my house, he told me that he lived by himself. But he had to go get something from his sister's house, and then he'd be back. And I said, okay, cool. On that day, he never came back. Now, this is going to tie into something because Felix ended up telling me that he was living with him. He moved to Memphis and was living with him. He never had to come from Mississippi all the way down to Memphis. He already was living in Memphis, Tennessee with Felix at his house, eating his food in his home. So Felix ended up kicking him out the house when he found out that Jalen was still talking to me. And on that day, that's when Jalen came to my house because Felix kicked him out of his house. So he came to my house. And that's how he got there. There's more that happened with me and the Felix guy, but I don't really care to get into all that because it wasn't really nothing that was important. He just think he was going to pull up to the house and fight me. And I was like, okay, girl, I mean, I'm here. And he never showed, never came. So I'm just like, girl, bye. And he ended up deactivating his page. The other boy, he deactivated his page. We no longer are friends. You know, we didn't fall out on bad terms, but I just stopped talking to him after that day because you're just phony. So we stopped talking. Me and Jason, we're still best friends to this day. Like, I still talk to him. Funny thing is, Back in 2021, I was working with Ally Universal, and I was doing security at the FedEx Hub over there on Democrat. Now, they have different posts, and you have Golf 4, Golf 7, and Golf something else. Golf 4 is the main entrance where you walk people down and you have them put their bags on this conveyor belt or whatever. You don't have them do that, but they're supposed to do that. And they scan their bag through, blah, blah, blah. You tell them to put their mask up so you can see their ears, whatever, I don't know. Whatever. So, that is Golf 4. Golf 7 is when you sit in this little booth and you have the little slide window open and you're looking to check for badges to make sure they have their right badges, letting them into the gate, and that's pretty much it. I didn't care to see nobody badge because I don't really care to associate with y'all, and I would just leave the gate arms up and I would sit there and be on my phone taking pictures while the sunlight was out, and I was, being real cute. I had just got my hair done and like this curly style. My sister did my sewing for me. I got these greenish blue gray contacts and I got my nails done, they were red. So I'm sitting in the booth, I'm doing my little thing or whatever, on Snapchat, feeling myself, feeling real cute, got my inches in. I'm feeling like a bad bitch. Now, I happen to peek to my adjacent left. This truck pulls up and stops. I happen to look into the car. Explain to me why it's Jalen. When he saw me, he looked like he had seen a ghost. But I'm looking at him like, why are you looking like that? Boo, I don't want to talk to you. I don't like you. I don't respect you. You can go on about your business. You did all of that, and you were afraid to face me because you know you were guilty. Now, I'm not going to be the way that I used to be, because if I wanted to be the way I used to be, I would have snatched your ass but your mother roar. But I said, you know what? I'm going to let God deal with you. Very much so wraps up this story time, y'all. I want to say, y'all, just be careful out here. That's why I don't do relationships, because I'd rather be single and you have your partners rather than be with somebody and try to be in a monogamous relationship and then have you cheat on me anyways. I hope this story time wasn't too boring. If it was boring, I'm sorry, but I had to go on and do this now because, y'all, I had shot this video 4, 5, 10 times, and the audio was bad on one of them. Then the other times I was too tired. Then I was outside and I was grumpy, and it was just so much going on when I was trying to tell this story time the first time. But luckily I was able to do it. So let me go on and end this now. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe to my channel for videos like this one if you love this gorgeous face. And share with your friends, your dog, your cat, even your shoes, the ghosts in the closet. Thank you guys so much for watching again, and I will catch you guys in my next video. Thank you.